Hello, everyone. This is Kathy Mason I'm so privileged to be with Suzanna Kennedy today, and we're going to talk about her new program and give you an idea of how it can help you through these changing times, really ride the wave of love and be all that you can be. So, Suzanna, hello.
Aloha. Thank you for this invitation.
Oh, I'm
Hello,
so glad.
everybody.
Yeah, I'm so glad to introduce your work. What I would like people to know about is that I have experienced profound changes by working with you and your emotional mental detox program, which for anyone that is left-brained and more business oriented is the perfect way to do personal development. It's spiritual development, but it's personal development foremost in my mind. So could you talk a little bit about how you started your magical system, and then we'll talk about the evolution of it. Okay?
Okay. Yeah, sure. So, back in 1997, I was married, two teenage kids ready to leave the nest. Um, in the corporate world, I designed training programs. And I grew up in Michigan, so our clients were the automakers. And so I'm like thinking, I don't know that my sole purpose, the reason that God put me here, was to teach guys how to run car dealerships. I just don't think that's it. And so I was asking, what is my sole purpose? And the answer came in a really shocking way. So I woke up one Saturday morning with this energy running through me, and it lasted about an hour and a half. And it was very fiery and kind of scary. And I heard, um, "You're giving birth to yourself, just breathe." So I did the Lamaze breath. And anyway, it changed everything. And I could feel the vastness of who I am, the vast love and then I'm looking down at who I thought I was. And it's like, no, that's just a bunch of computer programs. That's what it looked like to me. And it was, my self-identity, my ego. And even though I felt all of this, I also knew that programming would limit me. I wouldn't be able to be everything I am and do what I came here to do unless I got rid of that programming. So then I was kind of that voice that spoke to me, stayed with me and guided me. I was so grateful for that. And I was guided to a method that helped to delete all of that subconscious programming. And it was so effective. And it also cleared all my emotional stuff. So, your programming creates events in your life, you know, and then those events, some of them are painful, and we don't learn how to totally process that. So we have all this emotional baggage. So it cleared all of that. And I was so impressed with the results, and it let me expand even more. And so I decided to get certified in that process as a practitioner, and I did. And then when I started to do it and work with people as a practitioner, this guiding voice would come in and ask me to change it up and evolve it, and said, there's going to come a time on this earth when so many people are going to recognize that they are living these patterns over and over again, and they're going to want to get rid of them. And you're not going to have time to do, these one-on-one sessions. So we want you to, take your skills as a trainer and evolve it to so that anyone could do it on their own. or you could do it with the great big group all at once. And so I did that, and it became the Emotional Mental Detox Program. So that has been helping people, like thousands of people, over these last 20 some years. And it's worked, and it's, you know, easy to access, and it just works. And people go through this process. It's like a 6-step process, and by the end of it, they feel like I did when I had that you know, that experience where you feel like a totally different person, and you feel connected to your higher self. So that's the story of the emotional mental detox.
That's so perfect. I love that because the lightness of being that happens when you release all of those programs, because there is no judgment, really. It's just all learning. And but we judge ourselves and we label things to keep ourselves safe. And at some point, that's not co-creative, that it's restrictive. And
Right.
right now we're in this time of up leveling to the new earth, and you foresaw all of that before. And that must feel really amazing to know that you knew before, and that all of your processes can be upgraded to a new version that can help people through this time, because the energy is quite different right now. It is, for those really in 3D, it's very chaotic. It's very confusing. It's very almost, they call it the inverted matrix. You can't figure out what's right and what's wrong, because a little bit of both is in everything that you see. It's, you know, I think that's part of the game. It's like a maze to see if you can get out of it. But what I wanted people to know is that this process is linear. It's not, it creates a quantum expression, but the linear process that you use and hold people's hand um, as they change but don't dissociate, they can still function fully.
Right.
Not like what other people. Sometimes the awakening is really shattering, but this isn't like that. This just goes, I wake up this morning and I see the world without that filter, without that construct, right?
Right. Right. Yeah. So, well, and yeah, I used my skills as a trainer to take people by the hand and take them through this transformational process. Everything I do is from a foundation of both compassion and grace. So I've been known as the graceful transformation expert. So the inspiration came through on 8/8 Lionsgate. And my guides came through and said, oh, it's time to upgrade the emotional mental detox and take it to the next level. So when I downloaded from them the emotional mental detox that we've been doing for 20 years, it was from a 5th dimension, that we were in a 5th dimensional consciousness. Now I've been upgrading, and my 8th dimensional consciousness, my 8th dimensional self is overlighting me, and she wants to bring through the newest, highest frequencies from the 8th dimension to help us to really expand, you know, beyond even the 5th dimension. So if you are in a physical body, you can have your physical body is like in one dimension or density, and your consciousness can be in a higher one. So the higher your frequency is, your consciousness, then it starts to inform your body, and then your body starts to transmute. So this new program is called Sacred Union Reprogramming, and it is about bringing you into union with your divine self, your higher self, your Christed self, whatever you want to call it. And to do it in a systematic way, step by step, so that it's graceful and so that you can integrate the changes. And what's really exciting for me is I'm going to do it live. And so I want to do it with the group, because when I am with the group, we create a sacred container and there's a group energy. And so what comes through is for those people in that group. It's whatever they need. And they'll get whatever they need, and they'll release whatever they need to release. So it's going to be live. We're starting September 17th, which is a Sunday. So it's a good day to work with your spirit. And we're going to have 8 sessions, and each one is going to address another part of the consciousness, another part of the programming, so that by the time we're done with the 8 sessions, we will have systematically go through the whole consciousness and really come out the other end as a beautiful new you. And being able then to clearing out all of those filters, all of the limiting beliefs, all of the fears. Okay. And what I want people to understand is, when you are presented with this opportunity for transformation, your self-identity, your ego self, that programming is going to be alarmed, because it believes its job is to keep you the same, to keep that programming in place. So don't be surprised if you hear some kind of thing in your head that is trying to keep you away. Making excuses, finding fault, other excuses, maybe I don't have time, I don't have money, I don't have this, that, I don't know who I'm going to be when I, come out. And that's really at the bottom of it, is the ego doesn't know what it's going to be. And that's what scares it. So you really have to go into your heart, because this is all based on infinite love and compassion and grace, and find the courage to take that step and allow yourself to be who you really are, because the world needs you. And this is why you came here. Right. And it's going to be fun, and it's going to be enlightening, and we're going to hold each other in sacred space and love each other through this.
Perfect. Well, I want to reassure people that are a little afraid of the journey to their higher knowing, that the freedom and the joy that's in store for you when you do this kind of work, and when you really get to see your divine essence in all its glory, is so fabulous. It's not disorienting, though. That's what I want to really, I think a lot of people are afraid of shamanic work and other ascension coaching work, because they're afraid that they aren't going to be able to be highly functional. In contrast, I think you're 10 times more functional. I think the capacity, the fearlessness, and the capacity to go full out, it just is natural, rather than the poised, I'll do a little of this or that. I mean, it's really amazing the courage that comes through from this. Would you agree?
Oh, yes, for sure. Because that ego programming, that we get, that we all created in the first 7 years. That's the way it works here. And, if you're if you haven't upgraded your programming, you're like a wounded 7-year-old in an adult body.
Right.
And, think about a wounded 7-year-old. They're afraid of everything,
Right.
and trying to stay safe. And when you release, it's programming, it's thoughts, it's beliefs, it's not the truth. It's not
Right.
the truth of the magnificence that you are.
Yes.
And you've let that free. You set and liberate your divine essence that's been filtered and covered over by this old stuff. It's obsolete. Even people who have, grown up with the most wonderful parents, it's still obsolete programming from the past, because the parents were subject to the programming of society. And the fear, the way fear is used to manipulate, and the illusion of separation. So all of that gets clear, and you are liberated to be who you really are. And you do function better. You can think better. You're way more creative. Your intuition can come online because there's nothing blocking it. You have more love, you have more joy, and you raise your vibration. So when you raise your vibration an octave or two, which is what we do, or 8 for one for each session, then the reality that you attract to you is coming on a much higher vibration. So you liberate yourself from the struggle and the stress, and you get to be that, in this world, but not of it kind of place.
Well, the other thing I wanted to let people know is that you have taught these other courses, and a lot of them are like a do-it-yourself at your own pace. But the benefit of this new course is that you are there guiding, and you've helped thousands of people, so you know how to help someone go around the corner and just go to the next level without injury, without traumatic recall. That's the other thing. I want people to know that when you release some of these programs, the 6 major programs that were installed from the very beginning, you actually have a different worldview and a different capacity to hold love and light. It is almost like you remember your origin, but it isn't. This is not all metaphysical, although it can be, but it can also be for a scientist or a business person. It doesn't. It can help anybody through those patterns that no longer serve and want to be released at this time, right?
Right. Well, it's based in quantum physics. So, we've found out that our thoughts create, and we want to illuminate that creative genius within us. And, isn't it genius, really, that our natural state of being is this fountain of love and joy, but we've created a avatar of ourselves that has been struggling and finding it hard in this life. And that's going against the natural order. So if we were powerful enough to create this false matrix for ourselves, just what are we going to be when we can liberate that and not have the resistance of that programming to allow the creativity to come through and the intuition to come through? And I see the world as it will be, and we're not struggling. We're all having this wonderful connection and all of this love that we just want to express in so many ways. And we each have such unique ways to express it. And I've seen it. I'm kind of like floating from one group to another where somebody is expressing some kind of artwork, or it's a play, or it's a poem, or it's a music. And, that's how we spend more of our time than, any kind of labor.
Right.
So it's exciting to, that we're so close. We're so close, and we just need, to let that past stuff go.
Yes, I hope that everyone that watches this maybe will listen to it twice so that they can really get a feeling for how this message and this possibility to free themselves from old programming and be the divine human that they were intended to be is truly possible for them. And it's quick. It's not, you don't have to take year-long course after course after course. You will feel different after these 8 sessions, and you will not hardly remember. There's a journal even with the course, because you won't hardly remember that old worldview. And that's what we need right now for us to make creative decisions, creative problem solving, and go from the competitive warring mentality that we have to this new earth of love and light. We have to change it in here. Right. But fast. That's what I love, the efficiency of what you've created. It's quite remarkable. Could you share just maybe one story before we wrap up about someone's journey that you don't have to mention their name, but so that people can understand the benefit, whether it's their physical being that actually is cured from it, or their life? Could you share something about that?
Well, what comes to mind first is one of my clients who, when she came to me, she had been in a series of narcissistic abuse type relationships, and that was a pattern, and she certainly didn't want to experience that again. And so we went through the process, and she was able to liberate herself from that and to create, to create a better life for herself. And now she's written a book. It's been a bestseller. She is now coaching other women to help them go through this liberation process. I'm just so proud of her. So that's just one of my success stories.
Oh, that's fantastic. Because I think that's the journey. Once you realize that the storyline of your life has these same things, different people come in as different players in your story, but there's same characteristics. You're the variable that is in all of it, that it's you. So thank goodness there's tools and skills and skillful teachers and guides like you that can help people through this time, to help them ascend in a different way and access their true being that's underneath all of this, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I can see people's souls, looking on and going, yes, finally. We've been working on this for so many lifetimes. You can do it in 8 weeks. Yay.
Yes, yes. And you think about regular, some of the programs where it's years and years. I know I did a program that I spent years and $30,000 probably doing it. Yeah, and your system would have worked perfectly for me, but I
Yeah.
didn't know of you then. So I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. Well, I had a client that said, I've been going to therapy for 6 years, every week for 6 years. And yeah, I know what my patterns are. I know what my triggers are, but I can't change them,
Right.
And she said the first session cleared all the triggers that she had been working on, because the first session has to do with men and male energy, and that she's like 6 years. And I think she said it was like $30,000.
Yeah.
And in the first session she cleared the triggers.
Fantastic. Well, Susanna, where is the best place for us to go to learn more about this?
Well, it's on my website, SuzannaKennedy.com slash, and then it's capital SUR for Sacred Union Programming. You have to do the capital SUR, and you'll see. And yeah, we're starting September 17th, so it's coming up. I would like to close it off at 10 people so that I can really hold a good space. So I would encourage you to get enrolled if you're feeling inspired to do so.
Just
And I'm really excited. So come on.
Yeah, just think if 2023 is the year that you wake up and reclaim who you really are. And 8 weeks, my goodness, what a gift you are, Susanna. Thank you so much for what you do. And I really hope that people will go to the website, and there's a reason why you're watching this right now. Your soul or your higher self really wants you to play a big part in this change on Earth. And this will allow you to access all the tools that you need in order to do that. So I highly recommend this work, and I hope that you will take our recommendation and act on it. And if you can't do this one, hopefully Susanna will do another one where she's live again. But I would check your calendar. There's nothing more important than you loving you and doing this work.
Well said.
Yes. Thank you so much. See you guys. Bye.
Aloha.